I have on a mask, and this mask is not the kind of mask that gets really tight on your face, so it's been on for about 15 minutes. So I think it should be fine to rinse off now. A little bit of a jump scare there. I did my mask because I have a concert today, and we're gonna talk about concerts and culture as well as cosmetics, all within at least an hour because I have to be out of here within an hour, which wouldn't take that long. Of course, we're gonna have to start off with skincare. Do not mind my ripped cami because no one's gonna see that part. And this is how it's usually gonna go. I'm gonna put the stuff right here because I don't feel like linking everything in the description. So cosmetics dates back all the way to like ancient Egypt, right? They used oxidized copper, ash, all these types of things to make themselves look more beautiful in a way. And they date all the way to now. And it's very interesting to see the evolution of not only cosmetology and cosmetics, just the evolution of people, really. I have wanted to be a zoologist for a very long time, but I also find a lot of interest in anthropology. If you don't really know what anthropology is, it's anthrop is the Greek root word for human. So it's the study of human. Ology, you know, that means study of, so human studies. And it's really cool, honestly. I love anthropology and the evolution of humans and how we did evolve from monkeys. It's a whole nother story though. I feel like we should debunk that line. You know the line I'm talking about, that picture. Do you know the picture I'm talking about where it's like monkey to man? It's not the same thing, it's not the same thing. Just to say it short and sweet, there would be no monkeys roaming this planet if we evolved from them. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, if we were the same thing, there'd have to be one or the other. There have to be monkeys or there have to be humans. That's why we're different, guys. We're different. I don't need anybody to be like, we evolved from monkeys. Yes, we share about 98% of our DNA with primates, but that does not mean we're the same. We're not the same. God, there's brachiation, there's strictly physical attributes, phenotypes, and everything like that. We're not the same, guys. We're not. Anyway, seeing the evolution of people and the social cultural aspect of what we deem as beautiful has been a conversation for centuries. Like, what do we think is beautiful? What is the trend now? What's in, what's out? Fashion do's, fashion don'ts. We see that everywhere. And it's a lot with cosmetics and makeup and everything like that. There have been debates about whether getting plastic surgery is ethical. Do you feel less of yourself if you get silicone in any part of your body? Do you hate yourself? Do you like yourself? Or do you just respect yourself? Or you just want to tune yourself up a little bit? With my thing, it truly depends on the situation. There are women who have given birth to multiple children, and sometimes their body just hasn't really snapped back as much as they used to when they were younger, and they just want to fix their body up a little bit. Women expand their bodies and their organs are literally shifting for another person inside of them, and sometimes they just don't feel fully confident in where the body is left after giving birth. And that may be beautiful. I'm like, you know, this is just how your body is after giving the most beautiful gift, you know, human life can offer, which is life. And that's understandable, but some women are just like, man, I would just like to tune up my stomach. Or just, you know, after breastfeeding, of course, some women want to get their boobs done. It depends on the situation. Kudos to anybody who wants to get plastic surgery done on them. And if you have the money, by all means. I think it's just very important that you do your research, because there is in some sort of research that the amount of plastic surgery you can get in some places just biologically don't work out for people, you know? Just like how there are limitations for people who get certain piercings. Like if your anatomy is some way you can't get a belly button piercing, or, you know, the way your ears are shaped, can't get a certain, you know, industrious stuff like that. I've seen that when people, there are people that are like scientists and stuff like that, plastic surgeons, who've gone on places like TikTok and, you know, very palatable sources and palatable social media platforms. They're just like, hey, if you want to get your lips done, it should be a specific limit. Because the amount of like your lip space can only fit like more lip, if that makes sense. Because if you keep going more, it's just gonna like it's gonna spread in a way that you just don't like. And some people like that full lip look. I understand completely. But some people are just like, you can do whatever you want. Just take heed. Just be mindful, you know? I love rose water. I don't know when I started using rose water, but it's just been, it's been my holy grail for years now. Years and years. I love it. And it's literally just rose water. Some things that come from the ground are just really good for your body and skin, guys. Like, the natural things are great. Kudos to my grandpa, though. A lot of his herbalist habits trickled down to my dad, and which trickled down to me. So we use shea butter in this household, and we know what good shea butter looks like. We use oils in our hair, the regular ones that we also cook food with. We also just make our own masks and stuff like that. It's just, and we're very big on vitamins, even though I have a hard time taking them. Let's not talk about that. But I say that to say this. Sometimes look into the natural remedies. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. It just depends on what your body is used to and what it's not used to, you know? Cosmetology also has been a very big topic for men as well. I'm not gonna get on this whole soapbox, but I can bet that you see where I'm going with this conversation. A lot of people tend to have preferences when it comes to women in cosmetics. Like, some people prefer women to not wear makeup. Some people don't care. And some people have a certain limitation. My thing, I think men don't care about makeup. They just don't like birthday makeup. They don't care about a little mascara, some concealer, you know, a little lip combo here and there. Some of them just don't want a full face beat. And that's okay. I just think men just don't fully understand the levels to makeup for them to just, because they just generalize makeup as one thing. Because if we're going to be technical, there are a lot of women who just go out and wear mascara and lip gloss. That's makeup. So you can't just like fully generalize makeup in one setting, be okay with one thing, but not okay with the other. Makeup is very broad. I think men just forget that makeup can just be a very broad aspect. It's also just like, you can definitely have a preference. There's nothing wrong with having a preference, but when it comes to a point where it gets a little out of hand, a little inappropriate, and a little bit too much, that's when things start to have a conversation. When people are like, I don't think women should wear makeup because it capitalizes on women's insecurities. It just one swipe and it goes away. Well, duh, guys, it is makeup. It's just like, who cares? It's like, there are some things that I kind of, it's really funny to laugh at, because there's one thing where men argue about with makeup and spending so much money, but spend so much time on makeup. They do all these, they say all these things about women, but continue to play the game for hours, spending money on things. There are a lot of women who do makeup every day, and there are a lot of men who play games every day and put money into their games and spend hours trying to get better at the game that they're playing. Just like women take a lot of time and money into the products that they want to use to better themselves in their makeup and their, you know, makeup level, difficulty, whatever. The concentrations are different, but the principles are definitely the same. I don't know. It just doesn't, it's just not really appealing to me. If you just say, I don't like when women wear makeup, that's it. It's fine. Shh. That should be it. Now, if you want to get and someone really asks you why, I think you should still be respectful about it. I think there has to be some sort of respect there. Because at the end of the day, I think people forget that humans are humans. Like, for me and you, there's no difference between me and you. We're both flesh and flesh. We're both human. I don't know where we lost our humanity and our compassion. I just don't know where it went. And who do I need to slap? I don't know who I need to speak to for us to forget. Like, we're all the same species. No one is better than anybody else. And it's also a thing where makeup is also an art form. You know the amount of women that spend like tireless amounts of work and hours to do their makeup in such a cool, fun way? The amount of people that I see on TikTok that take so much time looking like Mystique from the X-Men, looking like all the cosplay characters that they adore from when they were younger. It's just such a good security thing for them and such a nice hobby for them to do. So why are we having this whole conversation about capitalizing on women's insecurities? I don't think people are, there's a conversation to have about being insecure with makeup. Yes, absolutely. I'm not negating that. It's just that don't generalize every woman who does makeup. Sometimes it's a quick little wake me up. Life gets a little hectic, and sometimes my eyes look not so great. my eyes look tired, and I just want to put on some concealer and feel like I actually woke up. Sometimes I want to wear a little eyeliner to pop out the natural color in my eyes. And that's a great thing about makeup as well. It already enhances the features that you already have. I forgot what else I was doing. Oh, I just need moisturizer. I really limited down my skincare routine. If you've been here for a while, oh my God, I'm so sorry. There's so many new friends here. I have to say hi to all of the subscribers and everything like that. I think a lot of you joined from that literature as a medium, and I'm so glad that you guys like subscribed, and it's so fun and sweet, and I really enjoy the conversations that I've had with people, especially from this TikTok that I made about Steven Universe. I feel like a lot of us love Steven Universe with all of our hearts. And Steven has just been such a comfort character for me, especially when the show started. We were around the same age. So him leaving was the same as me leaving for college, and it was just a big circle moment. And I love that I found so many people that commented on that TikTok and was just like, man, I resonated with him so much. I cried because the ending of Steven Universe was around COVID, I think. Yeah. But still, hi everybody. My name is Trinity. I talk about a lot of things, but the core center of everything that I talk about is a lot of art, movies, music. I am a Pratt major, public relations, advertising, same thing, we just mix it together. And literally my career is centered around communicating with people and figuring out what they want and what they need. So I take a lot of pride in the things that I watch and the things that I read and how that relates to the human experience. So it's just, I don't know, I have a lot of things to say, obviously. So I'm so glad that you found something interesting in me. I'll say that. Okay, I'm gonna continue with the video. I think for me, when I did makeup, I haven't even started makeup. Hold on, give me a sec. I need to put on my moisturizer. Where is it? Where's my moisturizer? Oh, another thing about natural things. Sometimes I add natural stuff, natural oils to the things that, I bought from that are cosmetic. Like this Ultra Repair Cream. If you've ever used it, I think no matter what your skin type is, First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream is very safe for everybody. Because I can go on and say, the things that I use on my face are great and they're amazing, but if you have sensitive skin, you have to really be cautious of the things that you put on your face, because you may intentionally want something that's really natural for your face, or you feel really influenced by the things that other people buy and you buy it for yourself and then you break out and you're like, what? What's this? I guess this doesn't apply to me. Just be very cautious of the things that you buy and what you're influenced with, especially if you have sensitive skin. This is very safe for everybody. But I add grapeseed oil to this to add extra moisture. It's getting cold out now, and I have combination skin. So my face just it gets really dry in those colder seasons. So yeah, I'm gonna let this sit on my face, and then we can get into makeup while I do more makeup, I guess. Okay, so I feel like this is set on my face a good amount of times, and we're just gonna get right into it. Actually, no, I'm gonna do my edges so I can tie it down, and I can go to my concert. For reference, it is 4:43, and I need to be out of here by 5:30. And I don't really have a lot of makeup to do, so it shouldn't be that bad. A little bit more on makeup because we have 2 more topics to talk about. For me, makeup, I started it when I was 17. I did my own makeup for prom. No, I didn't. My sister did it. I did my own makeup for graduation, which was 3 years ago. Yeah. What's crazy is I was just listening to Good Days by SZA, and I remember when that song came out, and I used to play it a lot on my way to school when I drove to school, and this was our asynchronous days for COVID. I was in high school when COVID happened. I feel old in some cases now, but when my children ask me hey, can we use your COVID card, your vaccination card for extra credit, then I'm gonna feel old. Of course I'll give it to them, but man, you remember asking your parents about pictures and stuff for extra credit and getting into your family history and stuff like that. When my kids start including me in their own history classes, I'm cooked. Yeah. Scary. We're gonna put this on the entire time because my edges tend to revert, even if I tie them down for like 10 minutes. So we're gonna put this on. Actually, I'm gonna keep this on until I get out of the car for the concert. If you're a black woman, you know. You don't take off the scarf until you get to the function. Like I said, I'm 17, and I only could be able to do mascara at the time. So I know a good amount of mascaras, some that work, some that don't work. And again, they also are very subjective because depending on what your eyelashes are starting off with up front, because if you can see, my eyelashes are kind of like, they're kind of long. Ooh, hold on, let's tie that, bring that down a little bit. The experience of makeup is also generational as well. The amount of times that I just sat and just had conversations with people as they did their makeup, or doing my makeup now with my friends before going out to events, seeing my grandma and my sisters do it before when I was just so young and little, and just wondering, you know, when will I be able to do makeup like that? And it just gets trickled down, the intrigue and the amount of time that women and people who do makeup put so much time into it and doing it, and the whole vanity of it all. I just love watching it, honestly. And that's what I'm gonna get into. I watched a lot of people do makeup, especially on YouTube. I was in that area, in that YouTube era when everyone was doing makeup, and before all the scandals just wiped out all the makeup artists. I think they were just all mentally drained and just stopped doing it. Makeup was a thing. Like, you know, Jeffree Star, James Charles, all of those people who love doing makeup and just doing makeup tutorials and everything under the sun. I just watched them and just saw how they moved their brushes, what motions they did. Now, because, you know, after watching it, now I know if I want to put on bronzer or contour, I go into 3 motion. I let my, you know, these things sit. Things that I've learned from my sister as well. I let my makeup sit for a little bit and get tacky before I set it. You know, I set my makeup in between. What do I like? Do I like matte makeup? Do I like dewy? Skin type? Glowy? That's the kind I like right now. I think when I get older though, I'm gonna start liking matte. But who knows? When I was younger, I had like really bad acne. Like, it wasn't like terribly bad, but I just didn't like it. I just didn't like how I looked with acne. And I understood that those were the times, and when I was younger, you know, that's just how your body is doing. When you're a teenager, you grow, and sometimes your hormones just hormone, and they have breakouts and stress and things like that. So I just wasn't really like, I didn't like it, but I just didn't do makeup yet because I knew then if I was gonna start wearing makeup to just cover up my acne, I was gonna be more dependent on it, and even still I had a lot of identity issues then. So me putting on makeup and already not being so secure with how I feel about myself just wasn't a good pairing. I loved how smoky eyes made people's eyes look, and I thought it was really cool to try it out for my graduation look. Even though it had nothing to do, I wore a white dress. I don't know, I think I just wanted to do a smoky eye just to say that I could. And there's nothing wrong with that. But even still, I did it, I think, a month in advance because your girl didn't really know much. I think I remember spending, you know what? Those prices were actually not that bad. I spent $70 for a good starter base of makeup. Now, makeup is outrageous. It's, you know, it's outrageous. I think I started off, I don't use foundation. As you can see right now, I didn't put any foundation on. The closest foundation adjacent thing that I would use is like skin type makeup is like a tinted moisturizer or a skin tint, you know? I just don't like how foundation looks on my, like how it feels on my face after a while. I don't like makeup to feel like I have makeup on, you know? Because some makeup can feel really heavy. And sometimes to get that brushed look, sometimes you really do have to like pack some of that on. But I have found a luxury and a nice medium, a nice like balance of figuring out what I can tolerate and what I can't tolerate. So like I don't really put any makeup on my nose anymore. I used to do a lot of makeup when I was in college, the first 2 years of college. I'm still in college. I don't want to make myself sound that old. After a while, it's just like, I didn't like having that much on my face. And then I think as I got older, I was like, maybe less is more for me. Maybe this is just what I like. Because at the time I started breaking out more and I was still stressed out. I think every woman has a little bit of hormonal acne because our periods, our menstrual cycles just get in the way of everything. But really, how I am, if I'm stressed out about something, you'll see it on my face. It's very clear. Stress really takes a toll on my skin. Just let you finish. Thank you. When I get stressed out about homework, when I get stressed out about anything life related, pimple just shows up on my face. And it's not kind. I don't think it's fair, really. Not at all. But comme ci, comme ça. Makeup, I think, is whatever you want it to be. And if anybody has anything like really negative to say, then you should really evaluate their presence in your life. That's it. Now, culture. I think culture is very interesting. I think what makes culture so interesting is that there's so many different ones, right? We pick off of other ones and we get so influenced by other people's cultures where sometimes we kind of forget about where they come from. And it's really been a conversation as of now, especially in other countries and other cultures, non-Western cultures, I'll say. We even have, American cultures, African-American cultures that kind of get a little short-sighted. There was this TikTok that I saw actually, and it raised a valid point. A lot of people are very influenced by Japanese culture and Asian culture, and there's obvious reasons for it. The Asian culture is just so unique and very broad, just like any other culture. It has so much depth to it and so many significances to it, from the food to the clothing to the music. In Indian cultures, where did that come from? In Indian cultures, there's different ways of music and stuff like that. And that whole Asian aspect, our livelihoods are so much different from them. And we take a lot of credit. We give a lot of credit where credit is due with Asian cultures, but within our own Western cultures, like African American culture, sometimes it seems a bit of a pushback. People tend to adopt the African American vernacular and just, no, it's TikTok slang, it's Gen Z slang. No. That doesn't make any sense, but you do you, I guess. I just feel like, just really give credit where credit is due. There's a lot of times where Black contributions to this country still get overlooked or never looked at all. In that movie Hidden Figures, a lot of people, especially it's like women and women of color, a lot of our contributions just get watered down, and it just makes no sense to me. If you still believe we don't live in a patriarchy, I feel like we should explore your reading habits. Still read, but I think we should do more research about it. There's some new friends on here, but I'm just trying to understand if we're on the same page. That's all I'm saying. I love having conversations with so many different people in so many different walks of life, and it's been great overall. All right, it's 5 o'clock and we have 30 minutes. So, do you know you have 30 minutes? I'm a drone to TikTok. Why is my eye keeps getting creased under this, some of the concealer that I put on is either getting out of the fold. I don't know. Some people put on blush for to look more lively. When people feel sickly and they're oh, they look white and stuff like that. Everything's washed out. Some people put blush on. That actually made no change. I don't even know why I bought this shade of blush. It's pink. It's actually, let me show you how it's opened. It looks like this, right? And it's just, it's not gonna show up on me at all. So I'm gonna go get something a little deeper, a little more cherry, Same brand, same product, just a different color. See how that, yeah. But a little goes a long way with blush, especially women of color. 3 dots and you're good. You see, it's gonna blend out great. And then I'm gonna pair this up with my highlighter. And it's, again, gonna blend out perfectly. Concerts. So, I am in an orchestra, and I tend to, I plan on getting in a different orchestra as well, and just like building up and, you know, trying new orchestras, new ensembles and stuff like that. So there'll be more soon. But even still, I love being in an ensemble. I love the act of being with brand new musicians every year. I don't know. There's just something about playing with musicians, because every musician is different, right? We're all trying to sound good with each other. We're all trying to be a little more compatible with each other, because sometimes when you hear a ensemble play for the first time, it's just like, everything seems a little wonky. That's gonna get blended out. But you see that highlight though, that pigment? Absolutely. The best ensemble that I think I've had, if you're wondering, oh my God, I love this question, was my freshman year honors band. It was called Concert Winds. It was our fourth period of the day. Sometimes it would get flipped, so we would have lunch fourth period and then class fifth period, or class fourth period and lunch fifth period. That was literally the only year of my high school career that I had a decent lunch. Fifth period lunch is actually the best lunch period, in my opinion. It's like right smack in the middle of the day, kind of. Every other year I had third period lunch. The first period of lunch of the day. I had lunch at 9 o'clock in the morning. That's probably why my appetite is so shot now. But hey, to each its own. See how it blends out. Nice, right? Right, okay. A little bit of eyeshadow. I don't know if you saw that, but I've been kind of Spider-Man lately. I've been 50-50. I've been dropping stuff like crazy, but my reflexes have been great. I don't know what it is. It's like, I don't know. There's this piece that we play called Beethoven's Greeting, and I have it in my phone, in my little like classical playlist, and it makes me feel so nostalgic. It's such a beautiful piece. I love it so much. Speaking of Beethoven, we're actually playing 2 Beethoven pieces today. I just need to put on mascara. I'm not gonna put on a lip for obvious reasons, but maybe for the video, I don't know. I just loved how that ensemble blended, and you'll never get it again because everyone is either in a different band. Some people move up, some people move down, some people don't join band at all. So that's the thing. It just depends on like the blend and everything like that. Yeah, that was my favorite ensemble by far. I still have a lot of life left. I can be persuaded. I'm not saying that any other ensemble that I've been a part of since freshman year of high school was bad. That's the most memorable blend to me. We all sounded so great together when we were like 14, 15. And maybe had more of a mold to me because that was the first ever full ensemble that we had, because I went to school in Chicago and the ensemble and arts was just not as much. They weren't as present at that time. So hearing one with the right amount of acoustics and everyone knowing and having the same drive and passion for music, and that showing, it really made a mark on me and just continued my love for music as it does today. I wouldn't have this tattoo if I didn't. I have a ritual, especially depending on a night concert. If I have a night concert, I have a way that I take about my day. Like I eat 3 times a day, I take my vitamins, I drink a lot of water. So far, I've had about 64 ounces of water. So like my LO, if you know me, you see my emotional water bottle with me all the time. So yeah, I don't know how many ounces, 64 ounces is how many cups? I'm not sure. Is that close to a gallon? I don't know. Wait, how many ounces are in a gallon? Have I had a gallon of water? Not even close. There are 128 US fluid ounces. 128 divided by 16? No. 128 divided by 32. It's probably gonna be a weak number. 4. I have to refill my bottle 2 more times to have a full gallon of water in me for the day. That's not bad. Sometimes you just have to make it look like not a gallon to drink the gallon. You know what I mean? The habits that you should be having every day is my concert regimen. hey, that's, you know, it's mine. And no one can take that away from me. Maybe I'll eat 2 more times a day. Who knows? Who knows? But let me put on some mascara because this is actually looking really stupid to me. Speaking of concerts, I went to my favorite band ever, Rex Orange County. That was my first ever concert. And you're like, Trent, if you're a musician, you just went to your concert and you're 21. Hey, let's not. It was wonderful. I love Rex Orange County. I've loved Rex Orange County since I was in high school. I think I started listening to him when I was a sophomore. And I have loved this song. You know, when I first heard Rex Orange County and his voice, it was with Best Friend. You know that You're Not, I Wanna Be My Best Friend, that song. He played it. I love it. It was so, we went to the Auditorium Theater and my sister, she went with me and he opened it because this was his debut for the Alexander Technique album. And I have listened to that album every day ever since. I love it oh so much. My favorite songs are like, I love Alexander actually, with the storytelling of it all. I love when music, you know, music does tell the story, of course, but when it's actually melodic and you're actually telling the story. The song literally opens with, I've had back pain for most of my life. And then it just goes into him talking about how he had went to the doctor and his, you know, it's a visual thing. He talks about what the doctor looked like. He had initials on his shirt. He had a nice expensive watch. And it was just, I love it. And first show of his tour. So when he was singing Therapy, I love Therapy so much. He will, one thing about Rex Orange County, he will definitely add like a string quartet piece. And I love it so much. He opened the concert with Alexander, of course. And then he followed it by Therapy, which is one of my favorite songs of the album. Midway through the song is like this beautiful quartet, you know, like interlude or something like that. It's just a beautiful part of the song and I listen to it so much. It's something so unsaid about instrumentals. But before that, he's riling up, you know, the audience and stuff like that. Everyone is so excited to see him because it's been years since he's been on tour and stuff like that. And when he finishes up Therapy, he goes, Chicago, good evening. What a way to open up a concert, man. I loved it so much. It was so beautifully made. And it's just it's gonna be the biggest highlight of my life. And I grow very sad because it's like, I'm not at that concert anymore. And I loved it with everything in my body. He ended his concert the first time with Finally. And that's also a very favorite song of the new album for me. And it's just, I don't know, his music and his songs have gotten me through a lot of things in my life, especially transitional things in my life. This house has a lot of things to say. I wonder if my house actually had this much to say when we first moved in. I don't know, I didn't realize that. I don't know if it's been the same. Finally is a really good song in Alexander Technique because it starts off with, my heart is being just to say something. Now I can't remember nothing. It's very catchy. There's so much energy around a concert because all of these people also really love Rex Orange County, and the volumes and the audio and everything like that, when you can literally feel the music in your heart, it's just such a beautiful feeling. There's so many, it was just like live musicians and he was just playing around and interacting with the audience, and it was just such a great experience. Thank you so much, Rex Orange County, for giving me the very first concert of my life. One thing though, I didn't realize that concerts, like, you know, artist concerts, you know what I mean? Because I'm getting ready to go to a concert. They start not on time. And I'm not trying to bash anybody for that. It's just, since I'm a musician and I'm so used to starting things promptly, because we have a call time, we have to be in our seats by this time and ready to go by 7:30. And when 7:30 hits, the lights dim, time to play. So when that happens, when I was sitting here, the concert started at 8. So when I was sitting here at 8, I'm like, what's going on? Why aren't the lights dimming? My sister next to me, who's been to multiple festivals and stuff like that, she was like, this is why we could have came at a later time. And this is my first concert, and my sister, love her to death, but she's not great with the time. She's not great with time. She was not gonna make me late. I don't care if we were gonna be here an hour early. This is Rex Orange County. Sit down and wait. No? But love you, Tristan. I'm so glad that she came with me. She was recording videos of me because, you know, this is our like first time in a while that we hung out and like just talked and it was just being sisters, you know. Sisterhood is a beautiful thing. I don't know a lot of people who are only children. You know? I don't know. I can't really think of any. But needless to say, I love concerts and they've been a big part of me in my performance career and everything like that, and adding orchestral and like regular concerts for regular like artists and stuff like that is just something to add on the bucket list. I'm definitely going again. It's like tattoos. I haven't gotten new tattoos yet, but I definitely will soon. This lip is not gonna stay on long because lip gloss with a trombone in my face, it's not a good combo. I just want you to see how it looks at the end of the day. My oldest sister, Candace, I've known her to have like very bold lips. She was around that whole like 2016 makeup era where people wore really bold matte lip with an outliner. And I remember she just went through all of the colors, but what I remember her most is her red lip. I just always remember her to have like a red lip because she's like very inspired by Marilyn Monroe and that old Hollywood, you know, that like old Hollywood scene. My sister, she loves like pink, mauve, nude colors. She moves towards like pinkish, natural colors. And me, I love me a good brown. Obviously, you could tell I love a brown lip. Love them to death. I just love how it looks. I think it just kind of gives really 90s feel, 2000s Vixen maybe, but it just really compliments me in how I feel. I just love it so much. But this is the look. I'm gonna finish getting ready, as in put in my attire. We have to wear all black. And I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned a couple of things, and let me know what you feel about culture, cosmetics, and concerts. Yeah, I love you, and I hope you're safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you, bye. I forgot to set. Call me bougie if you want. Don't care. And personally, I like my makeup after I've had it on for like 2 hours. So when the concerts started, it looks the best. Okay, bye.